Hi, I'm Home Inspector Dan. Having a vaulted ceiling can be a real challenge to keep cool in the summertime in Arizona. Let me show you how using radiant barrier underlayment can help. Alright, so now we're up on the roof surface. Taking a look at the concrete S-tiles. Be very careful where we walk on them. We want to walk on the bottom part of it where it's overlapping. This bottom tile overlaps a little bit, so we want to step on this bottom section here. Be careful not to crack any. You can see the underlayment and the batten board that's used to hold it down. This underlayment has got an insulation property to it, and without the S-tile, the insulation is basically worthless. You've got to have that airspace in there. Corner cracking is pretty common to see on concrete tiles as everything shifts a little bit. This is the least supported corner of the tile, so you're going to see a lot of bottom right corner cracks. There. It's just the most common place that you see them cracked at. Then you want to make sure that you don't have any vegetation touching your roof surface. It's going to accelerate the deterioration of the concrete tile. Just cut it back a few feet. Back in this corner is what is called a dead valley. So this is a mineral paper cap sheet, just basically a really big asphalt shingle laid down before the concrete tile. So it's got a really durable underlayment that should last 10, 12, 15 years when it's not too exposed to debris and sunlight. This has a tendency to build up with bird debris and tree debris in the front yard, so it gets deteriorated a little bit quicker. You can see the differences of roof tiles. These were replaced. These actually have some paint on them. So you can see the temperature differences. Temperature differences of the roof surface in a shaded area. Right now we're about 90 degrees. 88, 90 degrees. Over here where it's exposed, it's about 125, 130 degrees. $140, 145. It's really hot. Then going back under the big pine trees, shaded areas. What a huge drop that is. 125 degrees. Down to 90. 95. That's a huge jump. This is typical felt underlayment found underneath most concrete tile roofs. Most manufacturers that build roofs or home builders will use this typical 30-pound felt. It's an okay material for about 20 years. After that time, it starts to dry up on the edges and crack, and it will start to peel or pull away at the corners, leaving water stains on the interior, on the ceiling. Now, the underlayment that we have on this house is actually a radiant barrier underlayment. It's a closed cell foam underlayment with radiant barrier on both sides. It provides a minimal R value, so we're getting a little bit of insulation from this. It's not just an underlayment like this is. This is meant to protect the inside of your house from water. So is this. This just provides extra insulation and provides a radiant barrier. We can see some of the radiant barrier underlayment at some of the vent stack openings. These are fiberglass batts put above our living space down below on the vaulted ceiling. This is the only insulation available in a vaulted ceiling, is the attic space below the sheathing and the sheetrock, serving as the ceiling down below. So over time, this batt insulation can shrink, or if it gets wet, it can slide down this cavity and actually get worse. So we can see some air gaps from the inside of the house through a thermal camera. So this is the shaded area under the pine trees on the outside. Ceiling temperatures are about 80 degrees. Everything over there in that corner was shaded. You can see, I think I'm missing some insulation in that little area. But then back in this room is what was exposed to the sun. So we were at 130, 140 degrees on the roof surface. The interior temperature at the front of the house that was exposed to the sun is still 80 degrees. So is the underlayment, radiant barrier underlayment working? And we've got some warm spots up on top, but that's where air is accumulating. And those were those spots in the attic that the batt insulation was not making contact. So a lot of that is attic heat seeping in. Yeah, I think your radiant barrier underlayment is actually doing a pretty good job.